Okay. I'm kind of nervous. Why am I nervous? I'm Jesse. You might know me as FitzFizzy, and I am one of the top 128 in streamer camp. I guess this is a self-introduction video, so I can brag a little bit and tell you a little bit about myself. I've been to every single state in the United States, all 50. To be fair, it was as a kid because of my dad's job. I'm half Filipino, half American. I've got a dual citizenship, which is sick. I've lived in the Philippines for maybe about 5 years total, 3 or 4 years as a kid, and 1 or 2 years as an adult. While I was there, I got my scuba license. Philippines is a lot of fun. And my last real job was a manager at a bowling alley, which was actually super fun. I learned how to bartend, I learned how to serve, I learned how to count I literally started as minimum wage front desk, and a year later I got promoted to manager. Honestly, sick gig. Shout out the alley in Santa Fe. If you're ever in Santa Fe, check it out. Would recommend. I am one of the top 128 in streamer camp. This is sick. I'm gonna be watching the applications be reviewed live on Sunday. So if you want to see me react to that, you can find me live on Twitch at FitzFizzy. If you're from the rollerblading community, or you're one of the people who watches my videos, you may be looking at this and thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? What is streamer camp? What is the big deal? I'm gonna let one of the hosts from the last time, Foosley, who's also hosting this time, tell you all about what it's about. This is from the streamer camp from 4 years ago, before the pandemic. Here we go.
We have invited 6 streamers out, 3 girls, 3 guys, to stay in this Airbnb with us, and they are newer upcoming streamers that we think have a lot of potential to grow into honestly huge content creators. We're gonna put them through a series of competitions and events that will hopefully hone their skills as a streamer and make them into better content creators.
But who am I? Why do you care about me? If you've found me through streamer camp, if you've found me through the application process, what do I do? What kind of content do I make? Who is this freaking guy, and how did he make it into streamer camp top 128? So if you look at my channel, skating videos, I love rollerblading. I love inline skating. It is honestly one of the joys of my life, and I love to share it with people, but it's a pretty niche topic, and I'm a small creator even within this already tiny community. But it's been a lot of fun with what I've done so far. I got onto streamer camp, I think, partly because I've engaged with Foosley's community quite a bit. I've made some fan music for her April Foos character in GTA. I've done a couple of remixes of her songs. Although I don't publish any of my music on Spotify or Apple Music, I do publish it here on YouTube. I personally am not looking into being a professional musician or having a career in music. It's just something fun that I do, which is sort of why it just ends up here in these videos. Typically, I'm making videos about me skating, about city exploration, about technique, and about the sort of zen of inline skating. That's sort of what the practice is to me, what the art of inline skating is. A way to, for me at least, to release a lot of tension in my life, a lot of anxiety. It's incredibly cathartic, and it feels good to progressively get better at something. Every single time I go out and skate, I might not be improving a whole lot, but I'm improving a little bit, and it builds up over time, and it's really satisfying. I am one of the millions of parasocial people, parasocial viewers. It's kind of just a thing in society nowadays, right? One of the very earliest websites I can remember accessing ever was YouTube. Way back, right when it first launched, I was there, 6, 7, 8 years old, however old. It'd been around for a couple of years, but it was still extremely new. I was there, dude. I was there watching animation videos, stick figure fights. I watched some Dragon Fable videos because that's what I was playing at the time. I watched some Fred. If we go on a little further in, I watched a ton of Ray William Johnson. I can still remember these people that I watched a lot of as a child that I don't watch anymore, that I don't have a relationship with. And, but I guess you could say that those were probably some of my earliest parasocial relationships. I watched just a lot of YouTube in general. I like basically watched to go through all the trends. I watched to get updated. I watched them remove and add features. I've been with YouTube for such a long time, but it was only recently that I sort of became aware of the different dynamics that you can have with the creators on the platform. And that really started happening because I got more into live streaming with the onset of the pandemic. The way I discovered live streaming in Twitch and the way I started interacting with it personally was because Michael Reeves, YouTuber, still pretty much just a YouTuber, joined Offline TV, which immediately I was like, oh, sick, Offline TV, they've got a backlog of YouTube videos. I watched all their YouTube videos, I had fun, I watched all the videos that came out. Since he joined, I've been a fan of Offline TV. Not just of Michael Reeves, but of the group as a whole, and since then, of streaming and streamers as a whole. He joins Offline TV, everyone there are streamers, and I started watching a lot of their content. I'm still not watching any live streams though. I had heard of some of these people before. I'd heard of pogU, the Pichu, because they were just pretty big names in the gaming space, even if they weren't people I had followed at the time. This is where, when people talk about pogU, Queen of Twitch, a website I don't use, now I understand. This is who that person is. The reason I start watching live streams is because pandemic hits, and then shortly after that, Among Us pops off. And you know who I start watching? Of course, Offline TV and Friends is the beginning of the Among Us boom. They're one of the groups responsible for making it as big as it was. But they all streamed on Twitch, but in their friend group were people who streamed on YouTube. Valkyrae is probably the first streamer that I ever actually followed in the capacity that I think most stream viewers follow a streamer. I started watching more actual Twitch streams. I got more into the culture, more into the community. I installed all of the, extensions that you sort of need to have the full Twitch live streaming experience. It's kind of weird that it's not just default built into the site, but whatever. I get it. I installed the extensions so I can get the emotes, so I could spam the emotes. I love spamming emotes. Emotes are my favorite. I bring that up because part of my day-to-day has become opening up YouTube, opening up Twitch, seeing who's streaming, but specifically looking for the people that I follow and that I've become invested in as a viewer. All of this is really just to say that I appreciate the opportunity that Streamer Camp has presented me. I've tried a few times in the past to start a social media career. In high school, I tried to make a review channel. I had a short period where I made the Minecraft series. I've made gaming videos. I've made vlogs, and none of them really picked up or popped off. But the more I've just been myself and I've sort of explored the things that I personally am genuinely interested in, the more things have kind of worked out for me. And even if I don't get into Streamer Camp, this has been a really fun experience, and it's something that I truly appreciate. I've had my fair share of failures, and I'm used to the process of getting back up, getting back on my feet, and riding it out, making it work. If I don't get in this year, I'll try next year. And the whole point is to have fun, right? If you want to see stuff like this, and especially if you want to see if I progress through the Streamer Camp ranks, if I am an interesting enough person to make it to the final rounds, I probably won't. Let's be realistic. But if I do, follow me, follow the journey, and hey, if you found me through Streamer Camp, that's sick, dude. Stay wicked, or whatever. I don't know, man. All right, that's it. I'm fucking cringe, dude. Yikes.